A shout out to our podcast sponsor, sportsponsorship.co.uk. If you or your business are interested in making a real difference to the Scottish game, supporting hundreds of kids into regular football, get in touch with sportsponsorship.co.uk and they'll find the right fit for your brand.
Hello everyone and welcome to Tinpot, whether you're listening or tuning in visually on YouTube. We appreciate you giving us a listen. Whilst you're at it, give us a wee like, share, subscribe, even leave a few wee comments throughout. Would be much appreciated. We'll start to get a wee bit traction there. And we'll definitely read out your comments as the episodes go by.
Yeah,
Tom can't make it today.
Dundee, mate. Sorry, less Dundee. Give us some other teams.
Yeah, we need a bit more balance. Yeah, we're very Dundee heavy at the moment. So, as you've probably already gathered, Tom can't make it today. He's hosting a quiz at our incredible pod sponsor, Nooch Bar and Kitchen. So it's just Matt and I today. How you doing, Matt?
Well, yeah, just almost at the end of the first week back after Christmas. I've been enjoying being back at work, I must say. The calmness of typing away at a computer rather than chasing after a insane 2-year-old whose favourite game currently is to, as soon as the door's slightly open or unchild locked, is to dart himself out the door right up the stairs as fast as he can. So me and the wife are just chasing him and he's laughing out the time his wife, and then you carry him back down and he acts surprised, like he's like, why are you taking me back downstairs? Like you don't know what you're doing. So yeah, it's good stuff, mate. I'd tell you something, right? What I want to do is get like an Apple Watch or a Garmin for like a child, and like just put it on them, and then like see how many steps like a mental kid does like a day, because they must fucking
Surely that exists, no?
It must exist, right? Like because their legs are so small that they take like so many steps. They must be like on about fucking 10,000 steps, like by like 7 o'clock, man. Honestly.
Yeah, that's true.
They wake up and they're just fucking buzzing, and then they're buzzing until they go to sleep, and even going to sleep's a challenge because they're buzzing. How are they not knackered? Like, and they never sleep. Like my kids, anyway. Like they do sleep in the night, but they get up at like 6, man. It's like, oh my god, this is fucking. But yeah, other than that, mate. Other than that, just loving life. I tried to start a healthy eating phase again, like every other fucker in 2026. So I've been just laying off the old snacks. So
how's it going?
yeah, it's going on right. I'm treating myself to like one little bar. I've got loads of like selection boxes, so I have like one of them. It could be Freddo or a Chomp or something. Because I was going mental at one point, right? I was like so at Christmas I had like chocolate truffles from like Marks and Spencer. I was like dipping them in raspberry jam and eating them.
Why does the truffle need to be dipped in jam? That's fucking
Just
that's savage.
like,
just because the
it's
jam
like a
was
darker
there.
chocolate truffle and like some sweet raspberry jam, and I was just like, the two will go together, and they did. It was very nice, but that was the height of my like using the truffle as a spoon, like just scooping out lumps of jam. I was like, this has to stop. That's just gross, man.
Oh
But yeah,
man.
it's always the same sort of. I'll go a couple of weeks and then. I'm not really enthused by the new McDonald's menu, to be fair. So it's not really tempting me at the moment with this sort of weird shite that they've got at the moment. I don't know if you are tempted either by a fillet of fish and a fucking double cheeseburger or whatever.
Nah, not really. I think it's probably. I know we give McDonald's quite a lot of airtime, but it's just who we are. But
It's who we are, mate. It's who we are,
that's
mate.
it. That's it. But yeah, nah, I don't. Yeah, it's probably one of the weirder menus they've had. So, I'm not tempted. I mean, I've been on a pretty shitty diet from Boxing Day anyway. So, so I'm kind of glad that the worst McDonald's menus come out in January. So there's no real temptation there. But, yeah, we've still got absolute like shitloads of chocolate from Christmas and all that kind of thing. Just every time I open the wee cupboard in the kitchen, I'm like, fucking hell, like there's like a huge fucking shopping bag full of chocolates in there. So, but yeah, I'm sure we'll get to them in like February, March or something. But yeah, I've had a pretty child full kind of week, I guess. So I've been on daddy daycare for a couple of days this week, and yeah, so every night I normally would take the dog out and the wife would kind of watch the kid, but I've had to kind of juggle both in the evening. And you were just talking about obviously your wee ones and getting their steps in. Taking a kid for like a walk that would usually be like 15 minutes at night. Like honestly, it's like fucking 45 minutes. Like it takes so long.
Yeah,
Like, absolutely brutal. But I mean, she slept so well like after it, which is fine. But Jesus, man, like that I think is the worst part of having a toddler is the
waiting for them
pace
to like
that
pick
they
up her
walk
stone
at.
or something. You're just
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah.
gotta move
Yeah.
on, like you do it.
Goes absolutely mental if you like even mention like picking her up. I'm like, oh come on, like please. And it's obviously like dead icy as well out there,
Yeah.
so it's just like not really the time to be fannying about with a toddler outside. So yeah, that's the extent of my chat, really, just that and dieting, much like yourself, trying to get in a better shape so I don't resemble Shamu too much. But
Shamu.
yeah, it's been a pretty boring week. But
The January blues, mate. January blues.
that's it. But the transfer market's open, and
Ooh.
been keeping a wee bit of an eye on that, which is quite interesting. And obviously, there's been a few comings and goings with managers that we mentioned in the last episode. But our main headline topic today is actually Kilmarnock. So we're going to be chatting about Neil McCann and Billy Dodds taking the helm there, and we'll also be talking about whether we've got a bit of a trend going on in Scottish football with a sort of jobs for the boys recruitment situation going on. So we'll have a wee chat about that and see what you guys think. But before we move on to our first segment, be sure, as I said, to give us a wee like, or if you're listening along, remember to comment if there's anything that you agree or disagree with. We want to hear your thoughts on these new appointments. So, McCann to Killlie, news broke this week. What do you reckon, Matthew? Is it a good appointment for you? How are you feeling about that? Obviously, Kilmarnock in a bit of a precarious position at the moment.
Yes, it's certainly an interesting one. I mean, he's been out of management for a long time. I mean, he burst onto the scene after he retired with his 150 whatever it was goals.
Yeah. Think he'll be player manager maybe?
He's still filling his boots. But I mean, he was a pundit for a while, and he was a really good one. Like he was, I don't know if anyone else called him it back. Called him the Gary Neville of Scottish football at the time when he burst on the punditry scene. He was very well spoken, and he was really good to listen to. And obviously, he was manager of Dundee for a couple of years. I think 2017 to 18, he had an affiliation with them. Obviously, his first club and his last club. I mean, he did okay with Dundee.
Did he not jump into Inverness a wee bit?
Yeah, he was a care
for a wee bit
in
of- yeah.
2021.
Yeah.
I think Doddsy was just left then, or Doddsy was after that. Or
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
so I mean, he did okay, I think. At Dundee,
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't. I think he ended obviously the season that he left started really poorly, but I think he did okay. So he had 18 months at Dundee, an interim spell at Inverness, and then they're confident enough that he can save them from a relegation playoff or even relegation. I don't know. I think they know the Scottish game, and they're very vocal on Sports Sound and the TV. So clearly, Kilmarnock think that they have enough about them in terms of motivating the players and understanding what's required. Whether or not you need experience as a manager to do that, I don't know. Obviously, you have more recent experience when they were Rangers last season.
Yeah.
What were their roles within the backroom staff?
I mean, it's hard to say this for sure, but the impression that I really got was that McCann was the number two basically, but McCann was definitely it felt like the brains behind the operation tactically. Obviously Barry, was more of a kind of setting the standards of the club, motivating, kicking arses basically. So I think that what that spell did show about Neil McCann is that maybe he's kind of matured as a manager or a coach, I guess, in that instance. When he was at Dundee, I think one of the main things I remember is that big fallout he had with Scott Bain.
Mm.
And obviously Scott Bain was a big personality. Um, Ended up obviously getting a move to Celtic. But I think that he's maybe learned a lot from those situations that maybe sort of cost him a longer stint in management, perhaps. Um, and he's maybe understood how to kind of get the balance in a dressing room a little bit more. As for Billy Dodds, I mean, it's clear to see over Kilmarnock's form, they're not finding the net frequently enough. And what you could say about Billy Dodds is when he came in sort of briefly for Rangers, he definitely brought out a new side of Cyril Desser's game. And you would sort of associate Cyril Dessers with, synonymously taking about 1,000 touches before he would then, take a shot. He was almost instantly so much more clinical, taking it first time, having that kind of confidence, I guess, there. So I'm not entirely sure how healthy the strike force is at Kilmarnock and what it will be by the end of the window, but I do think that Billy Dodds will help to get more out of that attacking line, for sure. So personally, I actually don't think it's a bad appointment. I know we were obviously discussing Robbie Nielsen last time, but I mean, again, we did also mention that Robbie Nielsen's assistant to Lee Johnson, isn't he? And has been out of the Scottish game for a wee bit. So you look at maybe Robbie Nielsen's contact book in terms of who he can maybe attract to the club during this window and what could be done there. For Neil McCann and Billy Dodds, I think they could probably tap into that Rangers connection quite well. There's quite a few players that are probably due to go out on loan, like Finlay Curtis, Lyle Cameron. There's quite a few that probably would take minutes as well, that would probably fit in okay at Kilmarnock. So it'd be interesting to see if that develops. But I mean, what are your thoughts? Do you think that this is a combination that would actually keep Kilmarnock up or allow them to sort of progress up the table, I guess, to away from the sort of danger zone?
It's hard to say. I mean, there's such a small sample size for McCann as a manager himself. Obviously, Dodds had a really positive spell at Inverness, the cup final, and they were in the promotion playoffs, in the championship. I think they will get them going. I think that's guaranteed. They're gonna fucking kick them up the arse, and they're certainly gonna bring in some fresh ideas. So, I mean, whether they'll get the new manager bounce, you'd like to hope so. I think both guys are good communicators, which is important. And I mean, it couldn't be much worse than what it was. So I think the only way is up for Kilmarnock. And I mean, it's always a gamble when you appoint any manager, and when it's a manager or a duo that have very limited Scottish Premiership experience, it could backfire. But I agree with you. I think it could be okay. I think Killlie will have enough, certainly not to come bottom. Whether they can catch the teams above them, I don't know. Their squad
Quite a gap.
I know, quite a gap. If they can do business, like you say, if the transfer window, if they get in some of the names you mentioned, especially Lyle Cameron, with the Dundee connection and the Rangers connection, I think it will be okay. I like Neil McCann. I like the way he speaks. I also like Billy Dodds as well. I think obviously being a media personality gives you an understanding of how to communicate efficiently and concisely. So that can be beneficial towards getting your point across to players, and getting them to click. And he says Billy Dodds being a lethal striker. Hopefully he can fire with Bruce Anderson or John Jules. I don't know if Dackers is still fit, but I mean, you do wonder about them. I mean, I think Livingston are gone. I can't see them getting on a run. And I guess then it comes down to split if you're in with a chance when you're playing the teams around you.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think? Do you think they can do it?
I do think so. I feel quite positive about it, if I'm honest. But I mean, looking at the table, there are a few variations there. So at the moment, as it stands, Kilmarnock are on the same amount of games as Dundee, but they're 9 points adrift from Dundee at the moment, which is pretty significant. St Mirren have got 2 games in hand. They're sitting just above Kilmarnock, with 5 points ahead. But what I would say is a big spanner potentially could be if Stephen Robinson is poached for the Aberdeen job, because then that puts St Mirren in a very tricky position, and then who knows what could happen there. I would hope that's not the case, and St Mirren try and vie for that kind of 6th place in the league, but that could genuinely be a huge thing for the bottom 6. But I mean, regardless, either way, even if St Mirren hang on to Robinson, or whether they don't, Dundee are probably the one that you've got your sights on. There's still a huge gap there, so they've really got their work cut out. But at least they've got the majority of the window to try and do something about it, I guess. But I think personally, Finlay Curtis would be a really good loan signing for Kilmarnock if possible. He's not getting the minutes at Rangers. Neil McCann and Billy Dodds, kind of brought him into the fold when they came in with Barry last season, and he's got a very good goal scoring record as well for a winger. So he could be one to help them try and improve. But let's see. For you, the listeners, let us know what you think. Where's Neil McCann going to finish this season with Kilmarnock? Drop us a comment with your predictions. It's a bit of fun. And if you're right, we'll give you a shout out at the end of the season, providing Thomas remembers, because Matthew and I definitely won't. But
I think they'll be 11th. I think they'll be playoffs, but they'll stay up in the playoffs. I think.
I'm gonna say 10th.
10th.
That's
Who's
what I'm
going
gonna say.
11th? And Dundee.
I would say Dundee.
They're on a run of 3 wins, mate.
I know, but providing Stephen Robinson stays at St Mirren, I'll say it'll be Dundee in that position there. But
I mean, the key thing is getting a win quickly. Like, that's the thing with Killlie. They've been on such a bad run. The confidence is so low. If you can go in there and get a win,
yeah,
and get that
definitely.
lot stopped, then the confidence will be high. That's what you want. If you go in there,
they've got some good games to try and muck around with that kind of bottom 6. Sorry, so Livingston on Saturday, then the following week they've got Dundee.
There you go, win those 2 games, boom.
Exactly. You've got Motherwell after that, which is a really tough game, especially away from home. And then you've got Aberdeen at home. So depending on who Aberdeen take as manager, that could be an alright wee run. And that takes you to the end of the transfer window. That's on deadline day. So be really interesting to see how that goes. Staying on the theme of recruitment, do you think that we're maybe getting a little bit lazy in Scottish football at the moment? We're looking at Martin O'Neill revisiting Celtic for the 2nd time in a season, Kyogo maybe coming back, Presley being appointed by Strachan, Thelwell appointing his son, Patrick Stewart appointing anyone who's ever been to Old Trafford, Kettlewell back to Ross County. The list goes on and on and on. Do you feel that Scottish football's getting maybe a wee bit too cliquey? Do you feel that it needs a little bit more imagination with the recruitment, or is this just a one-off season?
Yeah, I think this is a strange season for everyone, north and south of the border. It's been a weird season. I think Scottish football's always kind of had that jobs for the boys vibe. They've always had the kind of guys that kick about, and especially in the lower leagues, that always seem to get a club. There are some strange decisions. I mean, going off the Martin O'Neill one firstly, I mean, again, that's the kind of case where things are going badly at the club, so you're bringing a legend and trying to appease the fans. Obviously, Rangers did it last season, and it worked relatively well. It certainly made them fans a bit more positive. In terms of managers, who else did you read out? Obviously, Thelwell appointing his son is just, again, that's just nepotism, mate.
Yeah. I mean, that was ridiculous. I suppose Presley... Apparently so, I think so, yeah. Which is wild. But
is he leading the stuff with it?
No, I don't think so. I don't think he's leading it. I think he's just part of that team.
Then you go Presley, jobs to the boys. Yeah, clearly, as our commenter said last week, that he was Strachan's mate. So, I mean, left field again. Neil McCann, a bit left field, but I mean, Presley seems to have proven his doubt was wrong for the time being.
Yeah.
and then Kettlewell back to County. I mean, that's a strange one for them. I mean, the guy's off the back of
Yeah.
like a really poor sort of spell at Kilmarnock, and he did okay at Motherwell. It ended badly there, and then you just appoint him because he did well for you a few years ago. It's a bit lazy.
Yeah,
That's a
I
worry for them.
agree.
I mean, I quite like Kettlewell. I thought he was a good talker, but clearly things didn't work at Kilmarnock. Whether that was because of recruitment issues or the way he managed, I don't know. But to go to Ross County in the perilous position they are, it's like, has he got enough to keep them up? Again, jobs for the boys is interesting. Scottish football's quite a small. It's quite a small place. It feels sometimes it does feel quite small time the way it's sort of merry-go-round of
Hmm.
people that continually get jobs or that are in the media. It's sort of the same kind of people everywhere, which is fine to an extent. I mean, yeah, you also on the flip side of that, you have clubs like Aberdeen who have gone down, and Dundee United who have sort of gone the opposite way and have signed a load of random foreign people from lower leagues and across Europe and hope to sort of maybe unearth the next gem. And obviously Aberdeen have gone further than that with Jimmy Tulline and then um, the Penguin Beef. Do you know his name?
Yeah.
Can you remember his name? Was
No,
it like
no, I can't remember his
no?
name.
He was in the dugout against
He was in. I
Rangers.
was
You
just
seen
about
that?
to say that. Yeah, he was in the dugout and he was on the pitch after and everything.
Yeah, like
So
mate, get a bit big for your station there, eh?
I felt
Step back
sorry
from him.
for
Peter
for
leaving.
Peter there. Yeah, because I think there was a
He
few
was asked
clips.
about
You
it.
know,
Yeah, he was like, "It was
was he?
fine. It was fine." He said it was
Oh,
fine.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
there was a few
he says,
moments when he was talking to him. They're 2-0 down, and it was just a little bit. It
"Fuck
looked a
off,
little bit
you."
uncomfortable. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I feel for
So I
him
mean,
because I think he wants to be his own man as well. So
I know.
yeah, a little bit kind of micromanaged, I think there. But
Mm,
yeah, sorry, you were saying
yeah, just kind of talking about the Dundee United and Aberdeen. I mean, that's the opposite side of the spectrum rather than sort of going
mm,
for these sort of. Again, it can happen with a lot of players that sort of journey around the clubs in Scotland. Um, I don't know. Obviously, Jimmy is gone now at Aberdeen. Whether it failed, I don't know if you can say it failed because they won the Scottish Cup, but it didn't pan out as they'd hoped. I don't think, and they certainly haven't unearthed any more Miovskis or Dukes or at the moment anyway. So they're talking about trimming that squad. So I don't know what's been going on there. And again at Dundee United, things aren't as good as you'd have hoped with a squad turnaround. So there are clubs that are trying to think outside the box, and then there are clubs that kind of return to the sort of model that keeps Scottish football moving and keeps the same boys on the merry-go-round. I mean, you understand it in lower league football because you're given like 1 year deals usually, so you're
yeah.
the same player sort of appears across the board.
Hmm.
I don't know. I mean, it's, if you're going to gamble on someone, they tend to gamble on McCann. Why don't you gamble on a youth coach from Kilmarnock? I don't know. Is it the same thing? Probably not.
I don't know
But I
if it
guess
is,
yeah.
but I mean, I think for me, what I'm seeing is more of a trend where, like overall, it's not applicable to every situation we've kind of sort of loosely named, but it seems to be when clubs are in a tricky situation and they're under pressure,
Mm,
they seem to panic with these kind of jobs for the boys kind of situations. Maybe not so much the case with Presley being appointed by Strachan, but if you look at starting with Celtic anyway, Martin O'Neill, it's obviously like fucking hell, like get rid of Nancy, he's terrible. Just bring Martin O'Neill back. Like let's
yeah,
just
you're
pretend
right.
it's never happened. Same with Kyogo, it's just like, we've not got a striker. He was good when he was here. Let's just get him again. And then obviously Thelwell, I'm struggling here. I'm just gonna get my son in.
Oh,
And Ross County with Kettlewell. We've had him before. We know what we're getting. We'll get him back in. I mean, with Ross County, they're potentially going into a situation that's really really tricky. I mean, they've got Partick Thistle, St Johnson after that, and then Motherwell in the cup. So it's three bloody hard games for Kettlewell to go straight into. And I don't think they've been overly active in the transfer
No, I've not
market
seen
so
anything
far.
yet. No.
So that's if if it's three batterings, there, then that really puts him in a difficult situation. So, um, but yeah, as I said, it feels like a lot of these kind of jobs for the boys at the higher level, as you said, maybe not so much in sort of your League Twos, your League Ones, where your pool is much smaller. But those clubs that have the option, I guess it seems to be when they're under pressure,
Yeah.
that they're maybe making these sort of rogue decisions. Um, and I think this has to be probably the worst season I can remember for these types of decisions coming up, so frequently.
It's
Um,
wild, man. You're right. The Martin thing is wild. Like he was speaking
mhm.
the main one. He was was he like 70 fucking 5 or whatever. He wasn't a manager for I don't even know when the last time he was a manager. 10 years ago, Ireland or something like that.
Yeah.
Why don't you just give it to Maloney then? Like if Maloney's apparently the one that's like the brains or whatever
Well,
behind it.
I, I think I don't actually disagree with the Martin O'Neill thing. It's just I think it's just the laziness of all of these decisions, not just the Martin O'Neill one, but it's more just like, he was manager here once, he was quite good. Let's get him in.
He's a legend,
Um,
yeah.
exactly, and it's just it's very sort of unimaginative, I guess, but which is a lot of what the Celtic fans have been complaining about the board, making these sort of mental decisions, maybe not so much against Martin O'Neill, but having to be in a situation where you would need to give Martin O'Neill a call, I guess, but it just feels very backs against the wall with a lot of these, and it's not just Celtic. Just to be clear, it's any club that seems to be under a bit of pressure. I mean, Aberdeen, are they going to make maybe a rogue decision? If they maybe get beaten again on the weekend and start to sort of slip into an uncomfortable situation in that bottom six, are they then going to make a difficult and sort of maybe regrettable situation, appointment at that stage? It's these kind of trends that are popping up. Kilmarnock, as you said, it's not a jobs for the boys, but it's a huge risk, a massive risk for a team that are in deep shit, in the table. So I don't know. Or do we look at it adversely and say, well, is this a bad thing?
Hmm.
Martin O'Neill's back at Celtic. The chances are they're going to win the league. With that appointment coming back. So is a jobs for the boys, a bad situation? Is it harmful?
Well, certainly if it's a legend, then I don't think so. I think it's a cop out, no? Just being like, we need an interim manager, let's just give it to a legend or a former captain. Fucking
Mm-hmm.
Man United just appointing Fletcher, and then they're like, oh, we're gonna get Ole Solskjaer. I mean, these
Oh my
people just
God, yeah.
they just read social media and panic and think, shit, we better like make the fans happy by bringing back Martin O'Neill. I mean, but then you see who else is there? But there's truly everyone else. Like, really,
Exactly.
would you have really
Yeah.
thought we're gonna bring this guy in or this guy in? Could you not do some due diligence? Could you not ask somebody, or do you not have departments that sort of have like what the fuck is going on in these clubs? Like all this money
Yeah.
and all these staff, but then they just say, "Oh, we'll just bring back this guy or bring this guy in." I
I
mean, it is
can't
fun to be
understand
fair.
this. It is. I mean, it's entertaining. There's no doubt about it. But I can't understand, and this isn't a criticism of Celtic. This is a general football. We were talking about Man United there. This is a general sort of footballing issue. But I can't
Social media
understand
football,
how
I'm telling you.
it is though. You are right. The influence is so heavy because how can you be in a situation where you're maybe going through a rough patch, or you've got a high possibility of a rough patch coming up, and your footballing department's not thinking, right, if this does go tits up, who is available in the
Yeah.
market for us to
Contingency
make a quick
plans.
move
Surely
on?
they have
Yeah, it's
contingency
just
plans.
nobody seems to have them. If you look at
No.
how long it's taking to appoint managers, I guess,
Yeah.
a bit of a delay at Killlie, bit of a delay at Aberdeen. Potentially if they don't manage to get someone in by the end of this week because the window's open. A huge delay with both of the Old Firm, when they were trying to make these appointments. So I just don't understand how this can't sort of almost be lined up, and then you're coming to a decision that you're like, well, let's just get Martin O'Neill back, let's get Stuart Kettlewell back, it just it's just mad. I can't understand it, but anyway, listeners, let us know what you think. Do you think that going back, I guess, on managers is a good thing? Do you think it's healthy for the game, or do you think that we're maybe lacking a wee bit of imagination in Scottish football? Would love to hear your comments. We are going to move on to a little quiz now. Obviously, it's a one-man quiz.
That's me.
Because I can't participate. But yeah, as always, our quiz is sponsored by Nooch. Genuinely, if you've never been along, get your arse down there. Even if you're not vegan, it's not to be missed. The food is class. There's always an epic quiz on a Thursday as well. You might see our good host Tam down there.
Shiny head.
Yeah, get on down. Yeah, shiny head. Yeah, exactly. Make sure he's not standing under any light bulbs, and yeah, get on down and sample some top class grub. So Matthew,
okay.
Today's quiz, because we're on that sort of managerial topic, we're going to stick to that for the quiz. Test your knowledge of that. There's 10 points up for grabs today, and it's a very simple true or false quiz. So even if you don't know it, you've got a 50% chance of getting it right. Exactly. So nice and snappy stuff for yourself. Feel free to play along if you're listening too. We want to know how you got on and see if you can beat the mighty Matthew in this epic quiz. So I will read out a list of 10 statements, and all you have to do after each one is just say true or false. Simple as that. So, since 2010, question one or statement one. Since 2010, Celtic have only had one full-time Scottish manager, so that doesn't include any interims.
Since 2010, full-time Scottish manager.
So no caretakers or anything like that.
I can't even think of... wait, say again, they've had one or none?
Since 2010, Celtic have had one full-time Scottish manager.
False. So I had none.
False. Okay. That is correct. Since Gordon Strachan departed in May 2009, Celtic have not had one Scottish manager at the helm.
God.
Managers include nationalities such as Northern Irish, English, Australian, French, and Norwegian. So well done,
Get the
Matthew.
job for the boys. Get the job to
the
Scottish Celtic player.
Exactly.
Brown.
Scott Brown, yeah, surely one day. But yeah, well done. Off to a good start. Statement 2. Aberdeen have had 5 full-time managers since Craig Brown left in 2013. So not including Craig. Since then, there have been 5 full-time managers. No caretakers.
False. I think they've had more than that. I think they've had about 7. It's been a fucking chaos.
Okay, all right. Unfortunately, you're wrong with that one. So we've had McInnes, Glass, Goodwin, Robson, and Yimi Talene.
I forgot about McDell Boy. He was there a good while, eh?
He was.
Shit mad since he left then, eh?
That's true, yeah. There's been a fair turnover there. But yeah, they have had interims with Sheeran, Robson, before obviously taking it permanently, and then Leavens had it a few times, and then famously Neil Warnock as well had it on an interim basis. God. So
that was his full time, no?
No, it wasn't actually. I had to double check that one. So, but yeah.
That was hilarious when he was playing as manager. That was so random. Like, he was terrible.
Fucking hilarious.
He was
honestly.
so unprepared for Scottish football. He had no fucking clue, eh? Like,
it just felt like he was like on a caravan holiday or something with his wife, and he just was like turning up the games on the weekend.
Yeah. I saw Neil Warnock on the promenade. Oh shit, we're looking for a manager. Get him in. He was weird. He looked at by this time he had like no eyebrows. He was looking bizarre and fucking just batshit crazy. Like, talk about job for the boys, man. That's like just fucking job for the maniac. Who fucking appointed him?
Honestly, how the
Who
hell
thought
you
of
came
that?
to that decision, like to appoint Neil Warnock, was absolutely mental. But yeah, it needless to say, did not go very well, did it? But
Did not.
yeah, fucking hilarious though.
It was good times.
I totally forgot about him. Right, so we're on 1 point so far, 1 out of 2, so not too bad. Statement 3: under Tony Docherty, Dundee finished 5th in the league.
I think false. I think they finished 6th.
You are correct. Dundee actually finished 6th in the 23-24 season, joining St Mirren, Killlie, Hearts, Rangers and Celtic in the top 6.
What a top 6.
I know, it's mad actually looking at that. St Mirren, Killlie, obviously Hearts, Rangers, Celtic, fair enough. But
Dundee.
Yeah, Hibs missing out, Aberdeen missing out there. Mental. Absolutely mental. Right.
Mental.
2 out of 3. Not so bad. Statement 4: Pedro Caixinha's win percentage at Rangers was 62%.
It's one of those ones where it's mad that you played it okay. No, I'm going to say false. Surely not. Surely not.
Say false.
Surely not.
Okay, all right. You're correct. Pedro's win record was just under 54%, which was significantly higher than Russell Martin at 29%. So there you go.
Martin set the foundation for this season. Made them hard to beat.
Made them hard to beat. Yeah,
hard to beat. Yeah. Couldn't win, but
yeah, he couldn't win. But yeah, exactly. Fucking hell. It just shows you how bad he really was. If Caixinha was almost going to double his win record. But anyway, there you go. Right. Statement 5. Stephen Presley has a university degree in economics.
I think that's true.
It is false. His degree
got a
was
degree,
in
though.
strategic leadership at the University of Liverpool. He did it to become a better manager, apparently, or a better leader in the dressing room. So maybe there was a wee seminar about soft speaking there or something, but I don't know.
Maybe he roars at them in the changing rooms, man. You never know.
Do you think he does?
I think he can get pretty angry.
I don't think he does.
You don't think he gets...
I think back in the day, definitely, when he was like captain and all that kind of thing, I think he was absolutely bollocking people. But
now he's said strategic leadership. They've told him you have to sort of...
He's just been strategic as fuck, yeah. So
you're fucking... Nah, you're right. I think he's a kind of arm around the shoulder type vibe.
Yeah, I think he speaks quietly, so everyone really has to listen. And then
he's got a mental assistant. Who's his assistant? Like Barry Nicholson or something?
I actually don't know. Do you know that?
He must have like a mental assistant there who like shouts at them like the good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
So he's just like, yeah, you're doing a great job, son. And then his assistant's like, yeah, fucking fish.
Kicking bottles around.
Yeah, exactly. Throwing fucking oranges at folk and that. Yeah. So fair play. Got a degree. Good man.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. It's coming in handy, quite clearly. So
yeah.
There you are. There you are. Statement 6 then. Steve Clarke won his first ever Scotland game 2-0 against Israel as a manager.
False. I think Israel were our bogey team, or bogey-ish team for a while. It wasn't never as comfortable as that, I don't think. I think he did win his first game, but against someone else. So I'll say false.
Fair enough. You are correct again. It was a 2-1 victory over Cyprus, with Ollie Burke scoring the winner in June 2019.
Getting back for the World Cup. He's playing in the Bundesliga, mate. See, Lennon Miller actually started for Udinese the other day.
I saw that. I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
So that's good to see. Hopefully he starts to get a wee bit of momentum.
Got a good rating as well.
He's still really young.
I know.
Did he?
I got like a 7.1.
Oh, great. That's
He's
brilliant.
learning his trade, so good to see him play. They won the game as well, so that's really good.
Yeah, no, it's a good confidence boost for him.
I still have him in the squad, even if he doesn't play. Like, I still pick him. Like, he's
100%.
an X factor.
100%, definitely. I think he's a class player, but you just forget how young he actually is. So he's got plenty of time ahead of him. But yeah, I read actually as well. Ollie Burke is currently
Mm-hmm.
the quickest player in the Bundesliga.
Really?
Which is mad. He must be, what,
50 stone?
35 or something like that?
Shut up, he's like about 27.
No way, he's been around ages.
I'm sure he broke through when he was like 16. I'll find out how old he is. You want to guess?
Fair enough.
I'll give you a true or false, Andrew.
I'll say 32.
Are you mad? Wait, I'll give you true or false. Okay, here we go. Okay, true or false? Oliver Burke was born in 1997.
Fuck right off. I'm going to say false. Surely not.
True. Date of birth 7/4/97. He's 28. 29 this year.
Fucking
I
hell.
know. So he started at Forest in season 14-15. So he's been going for like 11, 12 years.
Jesus Christ.
What a
Well, there
career
you
this
go.
boy's had, by the way. Look at this. Nottingham Forest, Bradford on loan, Nottingham Forest, Leipzig, West Brom, Celtic, West Brom, Alaves, Sheffield United, Millwall, Werder Bremen, then back to Millwall, Werder Bremen again, Birmingham, back to Werder Bremen for a third spell, and now he's at Union Berlin. I mean, how has he got? He's doing very well for himself. He's a fucking unit, so...
He's still, only 28 or whatever it is, so, I mean, fuck. That's...
There you go.
That's insane. And the quickest player in the Bundesliga right now. So there you go.
Or is that a Thomas Lee quiz fact?
It's not. Yes, Neil McCann was the second, but Ollie Buck was first. No, I read that this week actually. So
fair play, son.
Right, you're doing pretty well, mate. So 4 out of 6 so far, which is very decent. So we've got statement 7 coming up. Csaba Laszlo, when manager at Hearts, never lost an Edinburgh derby against Hibs.
True. Sounds mad enough to be true.
It is false, unfortunately. He lost several. I couldn't be arsed figuring out how many, but he did definitely lose.
There you go. I don't remember much about this guy's spell at Hearts, clearly. Csaba.
Well, you'll definitely not remember this one firsthand, but you'll maybe kind of know because of the name. But statement 8, in 1978-1979 season, Sir Alex Ferguson finished first in the league with Aberdeen in his first ever season at the Dons.
Well, we all know Alex Ferguson. He's a legend. I'm going to say true. I'm going to say Fergie did the business for the Dons.
He did it. It is false, unfortunately. In his first season, he finished 4th.
Oh, shit.
Before opening a can of whoop-ass on Scottish football with Aberdeen the season after.
Slow starter, mate. Slow starter.
That's it. But persevered and absolutely smashed it. So there you go. Worth persevering with. Right, statement 9. 2 more statements to go for true or false. Peter Houston won the Scottish Cup as manager of Dundee United in season 09-10. 2009-2010. True. You are correct. They beat Ross County in the final 3-0. Do you remember that game?
No, but I remember they beat Rovers in the semi-final.
Is that right?
We did,
there you go. Tam will remember both games, I'm very sure.
Yep.
But he ain't here. He's too busy quizzing in the old Nooch Bar and Kitchen. Get yourself down there.
Chowing on some fucking celery sticks, bro.
He's probably chowing down on those potato buns, isn't he? So,
whoever won those, we don't know, because he said he was going to announce it today, and he's not here. So the listeners are still on fucking tenterhooks. Eh? Oh, virtual next episode, we're just fucking leaving you hanging. Eh? Who won the buns? It wasn't me, so...
I think we should get extra points because he's not turned up. So then,
he left the big fucking, dramatic review. Did he just can he come? Can he come?
Oh,
he's eating those buns. He's buttering those buns up with vegan butter right now.
Big time, yeah.
Putting on
We're going to get a video later.
Sausage. I know. You bastard! Give me those buns.
Gutted, man. Gutted. Right, we're going for question 10 or statement 10. So far, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 50%.
Let's end it on a positive.
If you don't get this, or we can push it up to 60.
Come on.
Jim Goodwin famously had a horrendous spell at Aberdeen. His win percentage was under 35%.
False. I think he did better than people remember. False.
Okay. Unfortunately, that is true. His win percentage was just over 30%. So he did have a pretty bad time there. But yeah, 5 out of 10 for Matthew there.
Tough man on the old true or false.
It is actually. There's quite a few tricky ones in there.
There were some tricky ones,
big
yeah.
old date range. But yeah, let us know if you're playing along. Let us know if you got better than 5 out of 10. And if you did, then you can rub it right in Matthew's face. But to be fair, I probably would have done a lot worse than that.
Better than that quiz last week
guessing
that
if you-
fucking lazy bastard Tam produced. Oh, how much is this fucking Baby Bell and Marks and Spencer's or what the fuck he was? What was it? What weighs more than a
can't
Baby
remember.
Bell or a fucking tree string? What was it?
It was
More or
the
less.
over 33, wasn't it? Because that's how long Nancy was in the job or something like that.
Oh, that's
so
right,
it was,
yeah.
all sorts of
Sell by date or something on Baby Bell.
yeah, that was right.
Listeners expect better than that. Like, this guy
The
writes a
ones I've
quiz
seen
for.
in Morrison today. They'd sell by
That's what you can expect at the Nooch quiz this evening.
That's it, exactly. No baby
Oh.
bell chat though, because obviously it's a vegan
Yeah.
restaurant, so yeah, that's forbidden.
How much carrots do you get in a packet? More or less than 25. He flaps out a pack of carrots, starts counting them at the table. It was booing him.
Maybe don't turn up to Nooch on a Thursday then. Just any other day. You should be fine.
Every second Thursday that's not this one, maybe it won't happen.
Yeah, when the other guy's on.
Yeah.
Then then head on down. Pack
He
your
actually
voice in.
researches his questions, and I'm sure he doesn't have any incorrect answers every single week.
Proper general knowledge rather than
Yeah.
how many hundreds of goals did Neil McCann score in season 06-07? But yeah, anyway.
And he blamed the bloody AI. Fucking hell, mate.
Yeah,
It was a robot.
I know. Unbelievable. But Tam will be back with the old quizzing on Tinpot next week. But yeah, in the meantime, if you've enjoyed today's episode, please like, share, subscribe. Only takes a wee second, but it means a lot to us. And yeah, definitely get your comments in. Let us know how you got on with the quiz. Let us know what you think of that Kilmarnock appointment, where they're going to finish this season. And let us know if you agree that it's a jobs for the boys trend in Scottish football this season. Thanks so much for listening. Matthew and I will catch you at the start of next week.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.